Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring Road to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Here's what happened on the last episode.
Has that? I see. Thou art a. But I require. I anticipate.
Alright, to kick things off in our journey through Caelid. First, we're going to stop off at the Aeonian Swamp shoreline, where we're going to get invaded by Millicent, my, I think, all-time favorite NPC. After we take care of her, we're going to get a rune and a couple other items, and then head a little further on into the Aeonian Swamp. On our way to the next site of Grace, we're going to run into a Clean Rot Knight, and we're once again going to see just how crazy good the Greatsword is against humanoid enemies with two-shot kill. We're going to sit down, grab this Grace, and get ready to head in to fight Commander O'Neill. That little thrust dodge loop, we got him in there at the end. We finished things off. That's going to give us the unalloyed gold needle that is broken. We are then going to sit at the Grace and level up a bit. After that, we're going to head over through Celia Gateway to meet up with Gowry at his nice little abode here. He's going to tell us, hey, I can fix that, but it's going to take me a minute. Get out of here and come back later.
Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of... then you are... I need your help. Her name resting at...
And then he's going to tell us the secret of Celia, the town of sorcery, which is that we got to light a bunch of lanterns, and then it'll open up the seal, and that's going to allow us to get to our next place we need to go, being the Church of Plague, where we will meet up with our girl, Millicent. Not the invader, but the actual Millicent. After a short ride from his shack over here, we get to Celia, Town of Sorcery. We have a ton of invisible mage enemies through here. We're going to kind of just run past all of them. Hop up here, grab a golden seed, which will again give us upgrades to our flasks. And from there, we're going to do a little torrent parkour across these building tops to these altars where we will light fires. There's 3 of them, and that will unlock the seal, allowing us to go past Celia and on to the next section of the game. There is, of course, a way to skip this whole puzzle. I am just not that good at parkour with torrent. I'm pretty good with it, but not good enough to pull off the Celia Town skip. So we're going to just do the puzzle real quick. It only takes a second. You can literally do it without fighting a single enemy. And so that's what we're going to do. This, of course, is required to get to the next little section, which will unlock Millicent's quest line, which is one of the more interesting quest lines, in my opinion, of the entire game, and it'll take us all the way until we get into the Erdtree later on. But before we continue on, we're going to go over here and do a little dual boss battle with the Nox Swordstress and Nox Monk. After making short work of both of them, we'll get the Nox Flowing Sword, which is a pretty cool dex weapon that's kind of half dagger, half whip. And then we're going to get Lusat's Glintstone Staff, which we of course will not use. From there, we'll head up the back roads behind Celia to the Church of Plague. Now along here, there are a lot of these magic ball traps. I actually only had one on this playthrough, which is pretty interesting because usually when I take this path, it's like 12 or 13 of those things. But we'll arrive at the Church of Plague, where we'll grab a sacred tear and talk to the real Millicent, who is dealing with some scarlet rot and is in really bad shape. So we go back to Gallery to get that needle he was repairing for us. And then we're going to come on back to the Church of Plague and give it to Millicent and say, hey, this will help you. And she's going to be like, well, fine, I'll use it, but close your eyes, don't watch me while I do this.
Scarlet rot. You ask that I stay to quell the but never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply.
Once we do that, we're going to rest at the nearby site of Grace, and she's going to be all good to go. From there, she's going to give us a talisman that will raise your dex by 5. Even though we're not going to be using this on our strength build, it can come in handy if you ever need to wield a weapon and you're just a little short on dex, but you don't want to waste any runes, you want to keep going in strength. It can be really useful. We're going to head out back and take on this battle mage to grab some beast blood at this grave. Then after that, we're going to make a quick run up this mountain to grab a few upgrade materials. We're also going to get access to, I believe, the 7 and 8 smithing stone, which will help us when we do our next upgrade, along with a stone sword key, which are always great to have. From there, we're going to head down past Grail, the giant dragon, over here to Fort Ferreth. This is a very important fort for a couple reasons. One, it's going to give us the other half of the Dectus medallion, which is the normal, I guess, intended way to get to Altus Plateau. Again, I mentioned in the last episode, I'm doing it a little out of order just to save some time and not have to go back and forth. So at the top of this ladder, past all the bats, we will get that half of the Dectus. And now we're going to jump down onto the roof. And we're going to do a quick little run through here. You can, of course, fight all these enemies. I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. They're not really worth a ton of runes. So I'm going to go in here, grab this golden rune, dodge this rat, go back and dodge the rat again, miss, and jump over here. Now, at the bottom of this little area is Radagon's Soar Seal. I'm going to grab that and then immediately quit out. And once we're back outside, we're going to equip that. And as you'll see, our vigor, endurance, strength, and dex are all going to increase by 5. This is going to boost our damage output quite a bit, and it's going to get us ready to come over here and start working our way through the giant health bar of Grail, the Great Dragon. Once we take her down, we pop a golden foulfoot to get an increase in our runes, and with all our fresh money, we head over here to level up quite a bit. After leveling up, we're going to make a quick run, grab the map of Dragonburrow, and then we're going to head over and drop down by the Divine Tower of Caelid for some upgrade materials. After that, we're going to head down to the grace we picked up much earlier on in the run, down in Chauffeur River, and we're going to head over here to the Deep Well access point. This is what we needed those Stone Sword keys from Inia earlier, as well as the one we just picked up in Caelid. After a little elevator ride up to the top, we are going to come out here, and this is now going to lead us to our next talisman. Up to this point, we've been rocking the regular Arsenal Charm. This has given us a boost to our equip load, which is important so we can have heavy duty armor with high poise, and so we can carry this massive greatsword. Now that this golem has proved he is in fact a problem, we are going to go over here and take him out before proceeding on to the great Arsenal Jar champions. After taking care of that golem, we're going to head up to talk to this giant living jar, who's going to basically just say, "How tough are you?" And he's going to have us fight 3 of his champions, which we of course are going to just cheese because it's just easier. I don't feel like fighting 3 NPC invaders, so we're going to go over here, crouch behind this one rock, just hang out here for this guy. He's going to just have a little roll off, and then we're going to do the same with his 2 friends. And with the 3rd duelist down, we're going to go talk to the Great Jar and get Great Jar's Arsenal. This is going to upgrade the one we've been using, and it's going to give us an even larger boost to our equip load, allowing us to have high poise, heavy armor later on in the game, which is important since we'll be doing so much damage trading. Then we're going to pick up the Grace at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion, as well as fight a couple banished knights. With them taken care of, we're going to go to a nearby site of grace, rest till it's nighttime, and face off against the Knights Cavalry of Dragonborough. And with that Knight's Cav down, we are going to get an Ash of War that we will never use, and then begin a little quick trek over to Redmane Castle. After taking the teleporter over, we will enter Redmane Castle and the beginning of the Radahn Festival.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky. But now, we must make merry.
O gathering of champions, the revels begin! The celebration of war! The Radahn Festival!
After a quick elevator ride, we get to a beach with a teleporter that takes us into the boss arena for Starscourge Radahn. And once again, that Claw Talisman damage boost to those jump attacks is coming in clutch, and we're able to take out Radahn and get access to our third Great Rune, as well as the remembrance of the Starscourge. With Radahn now taken out, he is no longer holding back the stars. Because of that, we see one fall, and it's going to create a giant crater, which will give us access to a whole new underground area called Nokron. We're going to go talk to our boy Blythe. He's going to tell us, meet me where the star fell in a bit, and we're going to finish things up for Mistress Ranni.
Falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. The path has now been cleared. To Nokron, where Ranni's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star hit the earth. We'll take up our swords once more for Mistress Ranni.
Before we head out and head on to Nokron, we are going to make a quick stop at the absolute complete edge of Radahn's map with the War Dead Catacombs. Then we're going to backtrack over to Liurnia, jump off the cliff, hop onto this walking mausoleum, take him down real quick. Then we're going to go inside and duplicate the remembrance of the Starscourge we just picked up. This is going to give us a ton of runes for leveling, which we will do on the way to the next episode. Thank you so much for watching this one. The next one we're going to cover majority of the underground areas of the game and get ready to go take on Altus Plateau and enter the capital. And the story's really about to kick off. Things are about to get really interesting and a lot of fun with this build. So I hope you'll continue watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this one a lot. If you have, leave a like and subscribe so you're ready for the next episode of Elden Ring Road to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.